Chào mừng quý vị và các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của Audio Hoàng Hải. Hôm nay thì trong sự kiện chuyến thăm và làm việc của đoàn đại diện ở Gouder Acoustic thì hôm nay tôi sẽ có một buổi trao đổi với cả tiến sĩ Roland Gouder. Could you describe more about the DARC 250s?
Okay, yeah. The DARC 250 is a DARC speaker. That means DARC is dynamic aluminum rib construction. So we do not have a cabinet made of wood like many other speakers. We have a cabinet made of single ribs, and they are made of aluminum. So this is very special because aluminum, it rings like a bell if you make a normal wall, and you cannot use it for hi-fi or PA. So we thought we make single ribs with damping in between, and so you have a totally dead cabinet, which is really promising, good for hi-fi. The next thing is the DARC 250 is a four-way speaker. So we have two woofers, mid-range, mid-high, and this mid-high is made of diamond, the diaphragm, and the diamond tweeter too. So a very complicated thing because you need a crossover which divides the whole frequency band into four ways. And this is very critical because in analog you always have inductors, capacitors and resistors, and the inductors, they delay the signal. So the signal comes in from the amplifier and it is delayed. And then the tweeter shoots first, then the next mid-high, then the mid-range, and the woofer comes at last. And so the impulses are not sharp anymore, but they are smeared and ringing. And that's a big problem in hi-fi, and some people put the tweeter in the back to compensate for the tweeter impulse, but actually this doesn't work really good because we have a lot of reflection and diffraction effects from the cabinet. And the thing is, the delay is happens in the electrical world, and so we should compensate it with electrical means. And that's what we do here in the DARC 250. We have three circuits inside the crossover, which we call TDC, time delay control. So we just build up circuits which reverse the effect of the inductors to delay the signal, so that in the end the acoustical output is the same, and this happens at the same time as the tweeter. So a coherent wavefront is coming from the speaker to the listener, and then you get an impulse like this, like the original electrical impulse.
What genre of music which is suitable most for DARC series and DARC 250?
Oh, that's easy. Music consists of impulses. Everything is impulses, like the drums, the guitar, the piano, or even the voice. We always have impulses coming out as music, and so this loudspeaker doesn't know which music you play, and it doesn't matter. Music consists of impulses, and the better the impulse response of such a speaker, the better the performance. Of course, yes, you need a good frequency response, otherwise you just emphasize the bass or the highs or the mids, so that shouldn't be done. You need a flat frequency response, but that's not everything. The most important thing for a good loudspeaker is the impulse response. That's what music is all about.
I've heard before about your idea when you are producing the speakers, which is not only the speaker but to create a better music stage.
Yes.
Could you describe about it?
Yeah, that's very important. That's the real point. When you listen to many speakers in the world, you will always hear a right speaker and a left speaker. Music coming from here, music coming from here. And if you put your head very good in the middle, then maybe you get a shadow source. But actually, these loudspeakers should create a stage in between the loudspeakers in 3 dimensions, so that you can really hear the event happening. When the band performs or the orchestra performs, they are not sitting at one place, they are divided. here are the violins, here is the bass, and so these loudspeakers, these two loudspeakers, should create an acoustical image here right in between them, and if you close your eyes, you should hear and localize each source in between the loudspeakers. And that's very important, because this creates a perfect illusion. And a perfect illusion is very important for a good music reproduction, because then you feel like you are in the music, like the artists speak to you personally. You are not listening to two boxes on the left and right, but you hear the sound and the stage of the original. And then you get to the next level of music reproduction. And this is high-end.
Yeah.
Hi-fi is coming from the left and from the right, but high-end is creating a soundstage.
So that means when we sell Gauder Acoustic, it's not mean we only sell speakers, but also sell vision of
Yes.
music stage, right?
Absolutely, yes, you get a vision, perfect picture of the original.
Do you have any new plans upcoming in next few years?
Yes, of course. We already are working on some new concepts just to create an even better image in between the speakers. This is just due to drivers, due to crossovers, and due to other technologies. You know, we have a lot more technologies. We have symmetrical crossovers, we have a bass extension system, and so on. And so we have very high slope filters, and all this will be improved within the next years, and we will bring some new products all over the years, just when they are ready and when we know that they are better than the existing ones. But for now, I can tell you, all our 5 series are on the edge of technology. And we have a lot of technologies inside which were invented by us and which only we use. And this is just a dramatic advantage of our speakers compared to many others. Just sit down and listen. And do not listen to the speaker left, right. Just imagine the soundstage created, and you will hear it immediately. And then you feel the air around the instruments, the air around the voices. And this is just creating a wonderful illusion.
Okay, come back to the DARK 250. About these speakers, do you have any recommend amplifiers or audio source for these speakers?
No, actually, we build analog speakers so that the customer really can choose the amplifier he wants and he likes. And the DARK speakers are not so very critical. Of course, they have a normal efficiency, so you need a good amplifier, maybe a really strong tube amplifier, maybe a switching, but I prefer a transistor. There are so many good transistor amps in the world, and you can choose between them a lot, and it's not very difficult. When we were at the Absolute Sound magazine this year, they tried different amplifiers with this speaker, and if you want to read it again, it's in the current issue of the Absolute Sound magazine, and they said yes, you hear the characteristic of each amplifier, but the speaker is just not very critical to them. So it's up to your choice. And yeah, and for the Absolute Sound magazine, we got the Golden Ear Award for the DARK 250, and we got Product of the Year, Best Speaker Tested Ever. So I think this is a very good recommendation for our technologies and our DARK series.
As you can see that this room is filled with a lot of fibers and already customized to suitable for listening music. So if someone buy this speaker and bring it to their home, do they have to customize the room again? Or
No,
just
actually, that's the critical question always. You go to a studio with the perfect acoustics inside, and you feel happy and it sounds good. And then you bring the speakers back to your home, in your living room, and they don't sound that good. Therefore, we made some precautions. We have an adjustable bass volume jumper. We have an adjustable a highest volume jumper, we have the bass extension set, and we have a high dispersion of our speakers. So they are not directing the sound, but they bring the sound to the room. And so the room helps you to be within the music. And many of our customers say, yes, the dark speakers, they are not critical in a room. Of course you hear it if the room is perfectly damped, yes. Nothing better than acoustically treated room. But we build loudspeakers for normal living rooms. And the dark series especially, and also our smaller series like the Largo series, Capello series, Berliner, Arcona, they really play in normal living rooms like hell. It's wonderful. And if you optimize the room acoustically, this is getting, of course, better. But we build loudspeakers for normal living rooms, and so you can use them.
Right. Thanks for the share.
Thank you.
Vừa rồi là một vài chia sẻ của tiến sĩ Roland Gauder tại Audio Hoàng Hải. Hy vọng được gặp các bạn ở những video tiếp theo. Hãy like, share và subscribe kênh YouTube của Audio Hoàng Hải để cập nhật những thông tin mới nhất về thiết bị âm thanh. Xin chào.